manage the current crop of university professors and whatever. They are the ones doing it today. Yeah. And you ask yourself, so, they are unable to give them accommodation, let alone think of the feeding and all those things that come along with it. So haven't we failed? Years ago, we had Omnibus Services Authority. Yeah. Baby, I'm generally saying, "Per bus abaha." Meaning, baby, I'm quite good now. Me area bus be family. At the miyako baby, ebi I am baha director. At the miyako could see baby. Now I'm joining another one. At the me be somewhere close to this place. Bus, no your number, so you know the bus number. Yeah. And now the bus stop now we no time. The next time the next bus no lande. Yeah. Do bus stop. Yeah. And then this was happening in the 70s. Yeah. At the early 80s. We are in 2023. Show me one bus stop. Only one. So our description I may be in this modern technological age. Where is it? We don't have it. We don't. Okay. So there was a time we had companies assemble cars. Buses. They assemble buses. There was another one called Willowbrook. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Willowbrook, no more Jowlu. They were assembling buses that plied this routes in this country. And Metro Mass buses, Brazil, we don't even have a year. You see, so we have failed this generation. We have trained that those days. When you are traveling, your journey fee the reason why food is expensive is because of transportation. The mode of transportation of food to the cities, city centers. Because your train now those days, a train we are no free hinterlands cheaper no. Today the train lines are not even there, let alone to put a train on it. We used to have sleepers. You know what did that?
Sleeper and near free Kumasi Batakra.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. We had luxury. You were first class coaches. Yeah, the ultimate air condition. Then, and it could see say. So please, if I say, sir, this generation has failed. This is what I mean. 98.9. And for me, like I said, I don't see young at our level getting solution for the younger generation. That's why I'm thinking, I think we should leave them to figure out what they want for their future. Because with NASA now, capital crowd nibi, no more they don't have it. We have crashed our economy right now. See, how are they even going to start? So if we are lurking around and making it look like we have exhausted our brain. And this is where it has brought us. See, this is my...
No, but it is because of the nature of our politics. And I said there is something fundamentally wrong with our whole being.
We have a very useless leadership system. You understand?
Within the course of time and not currently?
No, currently. Okay. Over the not this government. Like the system we have used in the last 30 years hasn't worked. Yeah. That's all I'm trying to say. It hasn't worked. Because it's like the system the system itself will derail you. Do you understand? And because a dictator. Do you understand? Because I would like for us to go to that era where we have the Salifu Amankwas at the circular. Who drop paper, itimichi near chow 2, 3 and 4. Yeah.
Major Kwabnamu,
the Quantabisas at the port, Tema port in those days. There was this guy called Quantabisa. I don't know if you remember. Who Cornelius Dean Quantabisa, the Jack Beblis until things he did later. The Nimguasia bread. You know, when you heard their names, it resonated a certain you to
kind
do
of
the
discipline
right thing
and principle.
For you to engage in the right things only. Saturday and apart, we had something we call the house cleaning exercise. Sorry and apart. Saturday, we fast kind of for prayer. Na udi adodo ufi surround this. Wa fa shovel. Ugata wa ufi enim. You desilt it and make sure. Just do when you ufi there. The next house will do this. The other house will do this. And before long, the whole area is putting almost the assembly or whatever will bring a truck to come and collect the refuse probably and all of that. Almost no. What happened to all of this? And then I say BBD Zoom Lion. So when I say Zoom Lion, that is it. Irresponsibility. And we have sat down, filth has engulfed all of us. And we are spending several millions to the extent that they are fleecing us as a result of it. The companies that are supposed to do the work now, the government acquire contract, and and nobody is even checking whether they are doing the job, and they are not doing the job but still collecting the money. That is where we have come to. So you the nipa 1,000 kugu kwa hunse onko ye juma no afa nipa 100. Nobody supervises. It yano for thousands, so 100 per na ye juma. The 900 ni sika na kwesha ni bottom, and they feel good about it. These are the kind of people we are growing as we are grooming as business people in this country. Everybody thinks government. That is what has brought us this far. Because individualism will be benefit or no one in the family. And that is where we have found ourselves into that communal spirit. The statehood. We have lost it.
98.9. Honorable Kojo Adu-Asare, and these are early days into the conversation, early moments, but you could feel yet the passion with which he speaks about national matters. And of course, for some of us, we share in the same sentiments and opinions. I all share, and you can't want so much. Say, your orientation, we need everything through because anyone be but we don't walk the talk, and no pioneer problem. So, Honorable, Mami Musao say, under this current government, do you see a president or you see a leader? And where do you draw the lines between the two?
Honestly, this president has disappointed me heavily.
He's disappointed you heavily?
Heavily, because let me be honest, and I'm sure your listeners and viewers will bear me out. I am one of the few people in NDC who I can say Nana Akufo-Addo had, at the time he assumed his presidency, I had so much confidence in, knowing that he was going to change the dynamics of our nation. Man to Abamano.
Okay.
But I had, because of the way he had been presented, no nonsense. So he cut in like the Rollins type for me. At that time, that was my view of him. 98.9. I say B, and from the way he presented, the vision he said he carried, I never knew, sir, he could allow people around him rather to dictate the pace. Because as at now, I don't see him in the driving seat.
You don't see him in charge?
At all.
Wow.
And it is so evident, sir, those in charge also didn't have the country at heart. Maybe he had the country at heart, but thought, sir, he was assembling a team to direct the whole thing in a certain, but he left it in their hands, and they have derailed from whatever plan that he had. And he doesn't even know where to hold to get the whole thing back to tracks. Because on Kasasebi, Penny when fear echoed him and all of that. And that is where all you needed at the time were people who believe in your direction. But it's like they had their own direction. The case in point is the finance minister, on whose ideas and principle or whatsoever has landed us where we find ourselves. Because the president had so much confidence in him and left everything in his hand, to the extent, say, or no advice, or no riding, or no president to ride on his economic, kind of saying, so-called prowess, has been made to step aside when it comes to the real management of the economy. And so for me, I'm disappointed in Nana Akufo-Addo's leadership, if you can call it so, because this is no leadership at all. This
is no leadership at all.
No leadership.
What do you expect of a leader?
You see, a leader must have first a destination, and he should know the distance between the pointer or Ujina and the destination they are going to. And the leader must know the pillars to erect along the trip now.
We're happy. 98.9.
Pillar. This pillar must be, because of weight, it's a concrete, see, and a kum. As I say, that this particular millimeter, and a beko the way we see her. So you should have a design in mind and know the sort of pillars to erect. You should know you also need to put up beams on the pillars before you can load it with another weight. And some of these things, as a leader, you should be able to bring. This is just like an architectural illustration I made.
Artistic impression.
Exactly. But if you bring it down to the practical way now, you should know. On one president at the point say he's going somewhere, he's in a hurry, and he needed at 126 ministers and deputies to come along. We gave them all of that. What happened? So that leader, if we have been able to come this far, especially in this mess, then it tells you, said, we didn't even have a leader in the first place, because no leader will bring you this low if he's really in charge. Because on my messy and up, we are backward. Just that, you say, more media, it's either you have not come to terms with where we are, or you are refused to highlight it for people to know the alarming proportions of where we are. It has everything seems normal.
No, but where are we now? In your own estimation, where are we now?
You said it. If you have been downgraded to junk status, down further, then that is where you know. Please, you see, it means for the next few years, Sabi busiakra yebo edito aduane di kra no untimi nya bimbo edito aduane di. That's it. Because one kasa so you are not producing enough to take care of yourself over the years. So how are you going to survive? You understand? So it requires a certain form of leadership. The likes that the Magafulis, when they were alive, they introduced to Tanzania. The likes that the Rwandan Kagame and co are introducing, even because they were also at ground zero. At the point they realized their country was shut completely to ground zero.
Yeah.
No country cry, you can call it. But because they had a leader and the people themselves were ready to also start afresh, what happened? Slowly, they are building their systems. Somebody will call them the man, so you're a dictator, or you're a tyrant, or you're this or that. That's the kind of leader you need if you want to build your country.
Wow.
Like I said, our democracy for the last 30 years has not worked for us. And I think, sir, it is time we sit back and find a way to design a system that can build this country and make it, if we want to join the Singapores and the Malaysias and the Indonesias and the others, the tigers that are rising within the Asian circles, then we should start from somewhere. But where we are at the moment, it's not the NDC MPP type that we are practicing.
Yeah.
That will take us. It will try to hold us to a large extent, but firing and transformation and this and that and that, I don't see that happening.
But Honorable Adu-Asare, so don't you also even give the government a breathing space with COVID and Russia, Ukraine reasons now, Modemano?
You see, I think
we're happy 98.9.
You are a father, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
When you want to, your children are hungry and uniska or bottom, you can say, mimiska or bottom. Adentan uniska. What can't you adduce? And then I untiminka. You can find anything to do. Daddy, this. Excuses. But the truth is that the child must eat. So you don't stop there. You look for a means to get the child to eat. Yeah. That's all. That is your role as a father. By excuses, then we don't need a president. You understand? Because none of your perks in the midst of these Russian-Ukraine story, has reduced what perks are the amount. Has it affected your salary? Has it affected your allowances? Has it affected the home that government is supposed to provide for you? All that, whatever things that government see and from the president. Which one of it have you, as a result of Russia, Ukraine, have you, what's the word? Scaled down for us to also accept, say, oh, when the Russia-Ukraine issue came up, this is how it affected us. So, as a government, we also stepped or scaled down your numbers as appointments appointees even casa yusu you take pragmatic steps that will let everybody know say I'm be by. But you are eating chicken, your tables are full, you are drinking champagne with your name embossed on it and having parties, and you are still.
But recently, a few downsizing,
which is
because even recently, I understand the president trip to Germany. He went on a commercial flight. It wasn't chartered. The hotels, the delegation itself, they trimmed it down. Last week, presser where say even fuel coupons are no more, and now 4-wheel drives, for cross-country trips, but not for, within the metropolis and all that. And they are doing a bit of downsizing, some sort of meaning you don't still appreciate.
You see, this is one government that almost can't send back home. No matter the opposite over the years. So me, okay, it is just
word.
Yeah. It's not visible for you and I. And there's no document here, because of Saudi in the last 3 months, we have saved Ghana X amount. Before this was how much they were spending on these things.
Yeah.
Fiti said time this sense of mass our directive to be see the next 3 months. No, this is how much we have saved.
Because even last month, SOEs, state-owned enterprises for retreat or there was something innovative. The Director General of SIGA, or BAS, all the Director Generals and Chief Executives and the Managing Directors in a BAS at the Omoko for that 2-day retreat. And I understand, say, that 2 days, it saved the taxpayer about 100,000 Ghana cedis in fuel coupons. Would you commend that move? No. Kojo Adu-Asare.
You see, 100,000 Ghana cedis. You didn't know
Hey, honorable.
What is it?
But it's a step. I mean, it's a good start.
If okay, Siga.
Good.
And
More.
And Siga etimima the state enterprises a war na see ye nyina take that step and almost train a month soon and I said 2 months soon na that analysis now. I'm sure this 100,000 it would have become maybe a 10 million. Do you understand? Now the gravity of the you kind of say now savings are
Okay.
Do you understand? But if Siga on their own small minute it doesn't affect the entirety of the country.
So you don't see the gravity of their modesty, no?
You see, Amicha say you can be modest here.
Yeah.
Now they are not about the Judy. That same 100,000 no.
Yeah.
Now you acquire party. Another place. The same cigar now the acquire party wo baby. Now you blue and no. But you do ya baba you kind of saying
face
saving. Your friend saying. So for me, if the whole thing must be comprehensive.
Good.
And it must be driven by policy and properly monitored. Nyina who say baby ayeko. And yes, me call now the ujina baby ujina. That is what this government has not done. Because almost budget, even the presidency's budget, rather than to go down for 2023, went up for over 30%. You understand? Into that Russia, Ukraine, BSC, baby. That's what we are talking about. So there is no evidence. President, private jet, a car wa boy guyechi yetia intina this is a president who that on TV intino and yet afe don sikana na bi ni ho and the fact say IMF for share obi a wo say o pay me ho 3 billion for 3 years. Now say wo be kwa kwotena private jet mu under this current austerity measures omokra ma o year conditionalities one onyeso mama one kasa conditionalities wa fato won so say this is what you are going to do to become debt sustainable. Now what's aqua play more and that okay so. And that is why they are being being cajoled. Okay, the IMF system is cajoling them for the president to do what he's doing. And yenni penny say anka obekwa kofa commercial flight. Because he has become like an Arabian king. Presented himself, say, yeah, this is a bourgeois, a president who knows what time. Premier near no nim. At the papa or pair at the pa no nim at namon what chese yeah he knows what time is it he knows
I do premier
what I say and come on and you wanna have channel say uncle fa first class no go see from na yeah but fan what time so ne yeah come on He knows what is. Come on.
But say, no, you can't do that at the expense of state too. So our lifestyle be
He
you
did
live
it for.
bigger.
He did it. He did it for 6 years.
Yeah.
He did it for 6 years. Didn't he know that it could end that where we find ourselves?
Yeah.
That shows say on your leader or what vision, and on your leader of a pen, a calculation. This idea we are me and the kabi beba dachi. Do you understand? Of course, say a Japadi bia, ye Jamano. What I say, like what do they call that?
Ebusue
Japadia. Be bequeathed to him. Until ben I was Antimino, Sisia Abetomi. And here we are.
No, so I mean, at those times when not all nom calipo or try to mingle with the ordinary, was it a deception then? And now
you see, it has been his childhood dream to become the president of Ghana. And he realized, say, the likes of President Mills, it took their humility, the way they presented humbleness to Ghanaians, to win the hearts of Ghanaians at the time. Because someone who said Ghana for, that is the kind of leader that Ghanaians had confidence in. So he couldn't have done anything better, because the Nanado we know now was the Nanado we know then when he started contesting as flag bearer for the NPP. It was after Mills, and who said no, they had to rebrand the Akufo-Addo. The secret they had to change it because he wasn't even laughing. The regular Akufo-Addo was not the laughing type. But because they needed to present him in a certain way to us, they had to change the dentures in his mouth so that he could give a grin. Now, you find a picture, this Akufo-Addo even smiles sometimes. But right after becoming president, he went back to his real Akufo-Addo self. Okay?
Yeah.
And that is what we are experiencing as at now. All right? So, nothing has changed. Those who knew him, the likes of Nyaho Tamaklo, they told us about, hey, Charlie, this man, I don't trust him. Kofi Kumsin, I listened to that interview live when he said it. We all thought Alaji Asuma Banda said the same thing. These are people who know the man, and they know his caliber. And they know that this man, they cannot entrust this country into his hands. He will send that into a ditch. And these people have become living prophets. All of them, they are alive and they have become living prophets. I thought that this man would even disappoint them. Especially if 3 people, Kufo even said it. Yan Kufo Bia, Sabe Patapa Sem. These were his words. Here we are. So it was like they had premonition that we were going to get to a point like this. And they told us, and we chose to go along.
And no something ma adopt this position of rejecting the current appointees here, one nominator, omo undergo omo vetting here now.
Oh, media thought senka. Sabi. Simple common sense. Under such circumstances, your womb says the anchor. We a leader. All you do is nipa kakra with your boy juma. A man for
complain. What happy 98.9.
Omo ko mu kra no ase omo wuso. Intino se kakra free mu. Why don't you share our system if you are wait to be attracting and align the government? Nama Ghana fonso who say, oh, even we no crazy, you know, by virtue of what can Russia, Ukraine, no, yeah, titanium so kakra. It's anka nipa 5 ana ye omu free system you nanka what we call musical chairs.
Yeah.
Instead of reshuffling. Now musical chairs. Now they are system kakra. We were now the way I share the way but now you way now Ufuria Tadianka no put the mama on aqua cotnas and what pay at the sport to come in. Kaya kind of Ufuriata na wasesamo.
Yeah.
Kwaranka, Ghanaians will clap for you. But he chose to add more. And then come back and tell us, say, Russia, Ukraine. I mean, how do you reconcile that kind of decision? So Article 71, so there, you need to provide them with a certain perks.
Yeah.
Please, this is not leadership. This is greed and gluttony. What I say, binge on food. What do the bishop minimum on the bishop? Maybe I talk where be a upaki be And for me, I think this is where this government has just lost it for me.
So you believe, sir, these appointees, should not be given the salt room?
Well, I wouldn't say so.
But that's the position of your party.
Well, that's fine. I don't have
Are you in
problem.
support of that position?
I have to be in support of my party position.
Okay.
I have to. But probably if I, as an individual, I could have advised a bit differently. Because among them, I think somebody like, what is his name? Brian Achiampong. I think yesterday demonstrated a certain vast understanding of the agric issue.
Okay.
And with his private, his success with private entrepreneurship and enterprises and stuff, I want to see somebody like that at the helm of affairs.
Brian Achiampong.
Yeah, Brian Achiampong at the agric sector.
Very strong guy.
I want to see him, let's try somebody like that within the next 2 years and see what he can offer. But if you take Brian out, the rest of them, I don't think their places are necessary.
Who Katie Hammond saying?
I think he's the most, if excuse my language, the most unnecessary one among them. Just say his
appointment shouldn't have come at all.
Just say he in particular, he's too flimsy for me. Like what? I don't want to use words like substance or whatever because I didn't get it. He was.
He said, the vetting on one TRC, and I said,
no, the entire vetting was a waste of time.
The entire vetting, almost 4 hours.
It was a waste. Of time because I tried to figure out what exactly he was bringing on board, even for the 2 years that he didn't have any. He on your kind say and he's only coming in to follow through the predecessors now. It's not as if he's coming, he alone can come and change anything and all of that. And the moment he spoke like that, for me, it tells you, say, yes, because that means, say, even if you don't appoint a minister, there's a system that can still work.
Like it's a template.
Be the whole. And the template can be the chief director can follow through with that template, and they can still achieve the same result. So there's no need for him to be there. And he over and over, different people tried to pry or push for him to say something different. But he kept coming back to it. Say, nobody can push him to say anything other than what he has said. Say, man may be different. They are all it's coming to a cabinet, and the decision must come from cabinet, and what and for me, I think that Ghanaians don't deserve.
Wasn't he being jovial?
He has always been like that.
Okay.
And that is the typical.
That sense of urgency,
no, you see, why he has been able to get to this point even baffles me.
Oh.
Yes, as a politician, to be able to come to this
parliament for like 4 terms.
Yes, it baffles me because I was there with him during my period. I did not see any contribution he made significant. Even when it comes to matters of law. Do you understand? If you say there's someone who do you understand? So it comes like when the likes of Papa Uso Akuma and Co rise up to speak on matters of law. The people like Boafo, what's the W Boafo, and Co. When they wake up to talk about law and all of that, they were authorities. People like Ambrose Derry. And Co. Can be about law. Said these are authorities that are speaking. K.T. Hammond claims he's a lawyer, but does not resonate. Nothing law resonates around him. I said this has been KT's contribution in the last 20 years or 24 years that he's been in parliament. This is what he presents. Do you understand? That could be the Chairman Sabush. We all know his role over the years, the longevity in Parliament, how much contribution he as an individual has made to the institution of Parliament. This man has been there for years. He is just like water that is passing through a canal.
Oh, honorable. Don't you think, sir? It's an unfair description of him.
Please, I said I am being very, very charitable.
Very charitable.
I'm selecting my words carefully.
Okay.
Do you understand? Yeah. But he's a nice man. You understand? Very. So that bit of it, I'll give it to him. But in terms of work, substance, contribution, and all those things put together, he's hollow. Very vacuum, big one. Yes. That's what you see. Very, 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 very.
I see. All right, but okay, so later on in the evening, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, a former minister for local government, a former minister for information, now a nominee for chieftaincy and religious affairs, who are also saying.
Well, I think he comes across as a serious person.
Okay.
He seemed to
98.9.
Understand the dynamics that he's getting himself into when it comes to the chieftaincy environment. And I think he also has the disposition in terms of, you need as a because we call him for anymore. You need a certain nobility, do you understand, to carry you with it. And I think, he over the years, he has built that clout for himself. Maybe a chairman, Kasa, Bidum, to be there. But I think over the years, maturity has set in.
Good.
And listening to him yesterday, I was quite impressed with his demeanor.
And even the entourage that followed him.
Yeah. So
like
so I think for someone like him, my only challenge is what I've said. We are going to load our purse with a lot more and no pandemic challenge. Otherwise, most of them, Sticker and Co, they are all my people.
Good.
Do you understand? But I think it's way too late in the day. And also the circumstance, it doesn't call for an additional expenditure in that arena.
Yeah.
That is why I think, but the personnel involved, please. Nice guy, very serious when it comes to very dedicated. And, please, I worked with all of them. Good. I entered parliament with Obi, so I know him personally. We've been very close. We've had encounters and all of that. So I think, sir, the people apart from Katie, apart from Katie, I think the others have what it takes to really, take their places in the new environment.
Katie.
I think almost the Kanko as deputy, and I'm for substantive Grand Bank. I think I would have. I think Stika, when the young people are given opportunity, sometimes some exuberance can also, because you see, if you don't give a young man a chance, you cannot tell how wide their horizon can be.
Good.
I am an advocate. Some Stika should have been probably given the substantive minister. Now you're testing.
And shall we go Wakasache?
Testing. Because he's built a certain credibility for himself, and especially on the academic ladder. So abroad, but you see, politics, you grow in it, and the more you stay around it, the better you become. And like the Bible says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I grew up, I threw away childish things. As we grow, we throw away childish things. And definitely the young shall grow. Steve Marley, Ziggy Marley.
Yeah.
Also, small people one day will get big. So we should give small
those
people.
Those they call minority.
Yes.
Will eventually be the majority.
Exactly. So these are people you need to push up there. Years ago, the Totobi Kwachis and the Ahoys and the Ato Austins and all of that, they were in their like 20s. But they were the ones at the helm of affairs. They were secretary for this, secretary for that. And they ran the country at that point. What happened? I am in my mid-50s. And yet, people still think I'm too young. At my age. Do you understand? That is all because the top there is getting choked with older people. We need to clear some of them and free the space for younger people to occupy.
Wow.
And I believe they can do. That's why I'm an advocate, said somebody like Brian Achampong. I want to see that 2 years of it. Because I know him as a private man. I know what he has been able to build for himself. And I can be sure in, say, a man of that opportunity, especially with the agri sector. Me share what he can do. Exactly.
Is there no cabal that might work against him, judging from your earlier point of or despair in even our political terrain? Ebia, the man can have the willpower, but ebia not the system, a man in that space to function. And
see, I want to believe, sir, as a young man, to be able to come this far, he should know how to negotiate. You understand? He should know how to negotiate. Because before you put out your plans in the open, you must first have the plan on paper and look for the implementation planner or the execute that plan and find the people who can help you and those who can work against you. You need to identify them. What I say, your opportunities and your threats, and then you try and minimize your threats and highlight your opportunities. And by so doing, if you find, say, there are people who can work against you, they are the very people you should start working on first and foremost. Don't wait till you have push your Adentan to a year now, they will crumble it. So why you start with them? Sometimes only on Mokran and Besha say, Mokran and the plan no man give them that credit. Say, oh, with the plan and Mikoji was and all of that. Nitiwian in there. He won't destroy something that comes from himself. Yeah. So there are strategies to go about this. And for a young man who has been able to build his business to that level, I believe, sir, he knows these drivers that can be used to achieve success in that particular area. And of course, there are prototypes. Obetimi Eyusu. Ghanaians respect their traditions. They respect their culture. And you know, there are ways you can adopt. Udim say, so te said den kra tete botana na sunu ti asem kra na unim kwa obetimi da defe e de enya ne attention na wanya ne buy in. That is what a lot of us don't do before we try to execute big things. Do you understand? We overlook the opposition that we are likely to get until we get the middle of the sea. Now, if I didn't confront you, if you are not careful, we get drowned by it. But I think, sir, he knows time in Israel, and he should spend a lot more time doing the consultation.
Of course, yeah.
Then, when the implementation time starts, he will get the buy-in of whoever might have stood in his way.
That's it. Pamcho, interesting thoughts, very fantastic contributions. And the Honorable Kojo Adu-Asare, Eddie Emano, say one monitor conversation from starter. You could see, say this is a man loaded with brains. Now, I don't know, say politicians, it's only when they are on the fence and maybe Omukasa say they are, but when they are in charge, most of them, you hardly see their action. But Mamifa Winfem will come to do another leg of the conversation before we wrap up. We'll talk about the NDC and the way forward. The China, they are opening nominations. Yentini din ewo race in him, Entino. Obamiyahuno, what's going on? Now, we also look at a bit of the issues around Okujetwa Blakwa and the Cathedral. No, then we'll come and wrap up with our current parliament, not a member of parliament, and who parliament and saying before we wrap up with this very conversation. But still to come, Chairman Omarowa Diabeba, TT Katan Obeba Nafe, we settle for the conversation till 5. But Mamin Kaimu said, if you are looking for a job in the world of technology, or you are looking for a platform that equips you to land your dream job in technology, then the 2023 edition of the Tech Job Fair is for you. Event will be also at the Accra International Conference Center. Date no China February there also eduonum na ifra no panon kunkusi anwumre no num no. Sorry. Event no be also under the theme leveraging technology to create inclusive and sustainable jobs. Organizers know the Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana and AFOS Foundation. Supporters, any exhibitors, maybe at the German Development Corporation under the Invest for Jobs program. Jobberman Kahun, Lane Services, MTN, GIZ, AHK, Netherlands Trust Fund, Admi Telecom, amongst others. So if you want to participate or exhibit your tech roles, ube to me a call or WhatsApp them on 0242 912 027, 0242 912 027 or 0201 233 215, 0201 233 215 for more information. I'm say this job fair is free and open to all. In Tichna, na wakwa siena also so wakwa jinim di any bidi abo to dream. All right, uti apa ho adabe on happy 98.9. So and area. Sorry, we are live on our affiliates Nesim FM in Tamale, Nesim FM Ewo Bolega, and our we also streaming live on Facebook. You're from the dawn. Kwabna Pra. Honorable Kojo Adu-Asare Ewa Hantino. Mame Enkone Honafi. Ye no empim sumeba. I'll read some of your messages and more comments now, more de airbano. But Honorable Echna, the NDC will be opening nominations. For form Nibiana.
I'm contesting for president.
Great. No, that's good. Fantastic. And you have to start from somewhere. Because Kojo Bonsukrase, Wadunya president Obedia now. Entino and Kansashe. But I mean, at the last count, we never heard your name.
I'm kidding.
Yes, I know.
But it's not out of place, Dave.
Okay.
Just look out for it one day.
Yeah. You still bounce back.
Oh, sure.
But NDC, more timelines now, more diabani saying any. I don't know the anticipation for people to contest. Saying.
Oh, I think so. As your friends, your party constitution,
98.9.
Yeah,
I think it should be about 2 years before the next elections. As I say, to me, you're a flag bearer.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, parliamentary candidates, and so that in between that period, I'll start your Juma. I think when we are in government, I think it's 1 year. But when we are out of government, I say 2 years.
Yeah.
All of it, I think it has a reason. So that whilst you are president, party activity will not overrun your job as president. Because sometimes the two, you don't know which one overlaps the other.
Yeah.
But when you are in opposition, of course, you have a lot of time on your hands. And for you to be able to reach out, now we have 16 regions. And so I think the decentralization system now wider.
Yeah.
You need a bit of time to really go around and speak to your people as a flag bearer and also as a parliamentary candidate. I think timelines between now, the nomination and also the
elections
time,
in May.
I think they have enough time to go for endorsements,
okay,
and also to file, and then through the other processes of vetting, approvals, and then the organization of the Congress itself.
Yeah.
Will also take place. I think everything is in line, and the party is poised to get things going.
Yeah, but would you say, sir, it's already it's settled within the party in terms of the flag bearership now?
Oh, honestly, I don't see, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Okay.
Because we are humans. I don't see anybody beating John Mahama to it. I don't. I don't see it. President Mahama is exemplary. Just among the lot that are contesting or wish to contest, myself included. You
don't come nowhere near him. Then why are you contesting him?
Oh, say, for future purposes. Sometimes people want to put their faces out there.
Good.
And get to market themselves for other future engagements. There's nothing wrong. It helps to establish the foundations of the democracy. I have no qualms about anybody contesting John Mahama. I don't.
I see.
And I also don't subscribe to this business of anybody going to be fufuro air bar against John Mahama. Now it means the person is doing something against the party. It's not right. Do you understand? Yes. I worked with John. I know John, and I wish he wins this because he will win the general elections without so much work.
Wow.
Yes.
You think so?
I believe so.
The next election is a more President John Mahama.
Without so much work, compared to say a deal before Frobeba.
What makes you think so? Because we have 2 years to go, and you don't know what happens tomorrow.
This NPP, they are finished.
They are finished?
NPP is finished.
Adu-Asare, that's what you are saying.
Said
the NPP is finished.
Finished, right? Yeah. What else? Then on why they say you are below zero. Oba bedu zero. You are still finished. Do you understand? So I think you know the weather conditions. Weather.
Yeah, sure.
If you go to the temperate
zones.
sir.
Yeah.
As we speak. Almost numbers, no, they are in their negatives.
Yeah.
They are in their negatives. So Dante Cell was negative 18, negative 12, negative 10.
Yeah.
Now, Waba do 0. Is it still hot or cold?
Very, very cold.
Even 0.
Yeah.
But even 0, no himself way there. Bet me a share. Atade jacket I over share no.
Yeah.
Bet me a share light jacket kakra anambwa.
Yeah.
But you still know say it's cold. For me, yes, say brabe come to a debt sustainable level.
Yeah.
And it's also how many years to do that? Tell me. How many years did Fairness say? What's his name?
Who?
Finance Minister.
Kenneth Ofori-Atta.
He's talking about 8 years.
Yeah.
For this whole plan, this for us to get that debt sustainability.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fairness saying 8 years. 8 years, no, now MPP at this stage, no more info. Are they supposed to be in government by that time? By our constitution? By 2 years' time, they would have been, this tenure would have ended.
Yeah.
Meboa. It is 8 years now, open. 2 years now, we do baby a okano. Where would they have taken us? Tell me. By 2 years from now. By that time, IMF can crap 2 billion pen on account.
Yeah.
3 out of 3, no. Not 2 pen on account. Third one, no, you are not even sure whether you will be in government to utilize it or not. I don't see amount 12 billion over the past 2 years through the COVID period. When Timmy and Fanye or my anyway, 2 billion in the next 2 years and a your day. So please, let's not give Ghanaians any kind of saying
false hope.
Hope. Say BB Babe Sisa.
Nothing to me, Sisa.
Tell me.
Wow.
No, you tell me. Where's the pragmatic a year will be to me at their 2 papers so we can only float.
Wow.
You understand? We can only float. The banking system is almost gone out. They are totally wiped out. Because your transaction now, you need about 2 or 3 corresponding banks, Ghana Bank. Say your transaction now be a transfer and I say be a could do a brochure. No, when your bank me and some be and so to use their credibility to support transfer and cry, it won't be affected.
Yeah.
That is where we are finding ourselves right now. It's business-wise, our business people are going to struggle to even transfer money from to almost partners. That is how most of our banks have been downgraded. EcoBank, more on those times, almost to me transfer is free. Almost solid credit would transfer is free almost they call any other place. Easy access. They have been downgraded. The wine bill. Wine bill. That is how low this country has gotten to. Togo cry a papa sing. Togo. This useless country we used to call Togo is better than us when it comes to economic credibility. Into place. Let's not delude ourselves to think, say, Ghana beer, it will take a different. You see, that's why now you can say can in free hall.
Yeah.
Because the international community, they respond to goodwill. Leadership now take over no at the present. That's why they've brought someone to come and supervise, oversee
the central bank operations.
It's a credibility issue because they don't trust the current director general. And I guess I'm friend.
The governor.
Governor.
Yeah.
They don't. He has everything he has done in the last 6 years shows he said or not trustworthy. Do you understand? Because he doesn't have what it takes to give. He's more partisan than a governor.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because what it takes to be a governor, no, yes, statehood. Because we share the how you can your policies will drive the state to remain as a state, not to push for a government that you think you support. Even when we are inflation crowd doesn't, you don't care about it. Yeah. How the country finds itself in terms of its economic credibility. So they've brought a new person recommended by the IMF, and here we are. These are the things that will give us some goodwill now. A bit here. When so free say people will now believe in, because the person who caused the mess is the same person you claim should fix the mess. Which serious person does that? Yeah. Do you understand? And these are people. The financial world, you know, it's like a circle. Yeah. If you enter the circle, someone must hold your hand and push you in. Yeah. It is the only way delete. Na only can call. Na only no cases are the way. Me perceive be no yes our business way. Na only would this negotiate. Now happy 98.9. Now if you say free no now call the next person wa. Or no, it's a ring. Yeah. When you're free,
information before you get to the other person.
Information. No problem. Raise bar no. Okay. Yeah. Obe raise bar no. By the time I'll be drew her. So by the time I'll be free, no so I could do her no. That way so raise bar no. It's Uber call round. You will end up from where you started, and by the time you come, no so ebe meow. Because well, who say one from the beginning, your kind of one. It's a cartel. Yeah. It's a cartel. And most governments don't get to know these things until they are down the friend is like. If from the onset, only say no motia, only omu delete from the beginning, and you know. Yeah. But most finance ministers, out of exuberance, now they're not, and then they start. And then these people almost starting me, no man draw what sharing in him. Now they start squeezing the water out of you. Yeah. And that is where they have taken our brother Kenufuriata. And instead of stepping out and giving another person the opportunity to get that credibility from this kind of group, he doesn't want to do it. Yeah. Now he's squeezing our own old folks in addition.
Honorable, you were once in Parliament. What do you see of the institution of Parliament? Who is saying?
Well, I don't think we this hang Parliament, so-called, not a bad one. It's another dimension. There's more respect, from each other. Yeah. That mutual respect is a bit different because the last Parliament, which had, I think, 169 versus 106 or so,
98.9
was very, very disrespectful. Very, very extremely condescending, because at the time when Omunim said they had numbers and they could just do it, and it was one of the most disrespectful Parliament. Then they did everything, and that is where this Kenufuriata, or why Kenufuriata, I think he has not recovered from that era. He could sit in his he had Parliament, and he had the speaker who was also a member of their party. So whatever he wanted, he got. But now that when you're a different crop with a speaker who himself
the other side,
you cannot easily bend.
Okay.
He's finding it very difficult. But I think I respect the current stature of the parliamentary war. with the leadership of Haruna first and foremost, and then later Atu-Forcing. I believe, sir, yesterday I like the seriousness with which Atu asks his questions.
Okay.
And in as much as people were expecting a certain camaraderie, among members of parliament and all of that, he said he was there to ask questions.
Yeah.
When we finish and we go back to parliament, we will behave the way we always do. But for here, where we find ourselves, we are here for a purpose. Let the people, the mandate of the people be served. So let us do the work according to the books. So I really appreciate that posturing and the committee. I think Joe Wise has always been a good leader. He has a certain demeanor that it was only that period where issues were up with the number they had some voting issues. No penny, but apart from that, he's a good man. I also entered parliament with him the same period, and we were very good friends.
Okay.
I have so much respect for his leadership. Before then, he was at DVLA, and I think he cuts in for me as a very good person. So anytime he's leading anything, I have so much regard for it. And the questions, the members of the committee, Dilante Vanderpoy and Ayariga, Suhini, Susu, Giselle, and all those others. I think they present them, the NPP guys, apart from Patrick Boama, who usually pushes for something substantial. I mean, it comes with substance. Even though he knows this is my party persons, he does his research and puts out very solid questions. The likes of Afenyo Markins, they come and play that liberal role. Throw in begging questions. You understand?
Lead questions.
For me, it doesn't show dexterity. You understand? It reduces the whole thing to a certain year of gimmickry. And I mean, sometimes I think people should elevate their jokes to a certain, I mean, they should know when to joke and when to bring in something serious. Do you understand? Because, please, people are watching you. Afenyo Markins, everybody knows the depth. When you really want to be deep, everybody knows you can be deep. So why do you choose this particular place not to be deep? Do you understand? Let your people who you are sending, let them know, say, you're free high, but a higher TD. We are draining the water out of you. You understand? We are pulling you so that when you go, you don't go and mess up. You go and glorify all that we think you can do. You understand? So for me, apart from that bit of him, Anthony Markins, I tell you, he's deep. That one I won't lie to you. When he wants to be and he knows his law. Do you understand? He knows his practice. He knows when so he should stick to that.
Great.
He thinks as I said, me Bobby B2 and even now Shego. No, it's not.
Honorable Kojo Adu-Asare, honestly, and then you've made our day with your depth of thought any adeno. But finally, and then Okuja Tone Victor Kusibuati Asemne court. Almost say my journey indefinitely, but what do you make of the whole issues around the cathedral where it has gotten us to know?
You see, Papa no I'm a Christian. And I think they have desecrated the name Christ for so long. And they must desist. There are several others that we cannot mention, but on no need the I think say near Kosovo, the Makra will not have or will not be happy about it.
Oh yeah, and you are right. The family know you're so depressed. So isn't the Makra school quiet?
Yes, you see. So for me, you don't advertise matters like this too much. So as a leader, we see woman you twatwa quickly, and then Adenaba public find a way. Kuje to nipa na wo no. Uye Kristoni. Kuje to ye Kristoni. But oye na juma and ADC. It has a way that can denigrate not only you and your church, but Christianity as a whole.
98.9
because of this thing on Adu-Asare. And those are the things you should be looking at. Ntianka Sebi, Adena Koswa enye, you don't sound soldier engum. Now, when we dimension Adena Eko, the same Krofwa Eko survey documents no crown, they are not the right people. They are not bailiffs.
Yeah.
If it is proven, say ampa, and your bailiffs and a cost survey. When baby was no kekako. You understand? Do you want to remain, or you want this case to remain on the front burner every day? That's every time you're boarding. Say, man, you're from James Jimana, James Kusi, and that you are going to, like you are saying, I don't know his family, but I think, say, whichever way he's pushing himself and his family into harm's way. It matters like this. Meaning now, can one say my call your friend will be down under?
Yeah.
Just go there and pull strings. That is all you do. You don't use the law. The law is gapingly looking at you in a negative way. Because everything about this case, GRA for ADP.
Yeah.
It's so indicting. So indicting. You made me feel say, after this point, he should just throw in the towel.
Wow.
Yes, after this point. And withdraw from the cathedral issues. As at now, he has not even resigned.
But don't you think, say, a new moment world, I mean, deepen the perception, say, indeed, something went wrong?
Perception, man, 2 weeks, it will die.
Hey! As somehow can honorable Adu-Asare. Ghana perception, man, 2 weeks, it will die.
It will die.
Wow.
But if you are giving it oxygen,
yeah, you fuel it
the more. Every time dimension will come and add to it. And that's why I say you will be hurting people and by extension, Christendom. Because Sunday will be quite preaching. And every Sunday, cameras, one kasawa sorry for crowd will be recording you to be able to send out there to trend. You know, to give yourself free way that will be to me puppet. So a preaching, I'd rather surrender. Surrender. Say, Master, wait there. I think at a certain point, I messed up. And you only suffer first person. Why a mistake? People had sex. Big pastors had sex with some of their church members. They even had to come out openly. Jimmy Swaggart money are there. Yeah. They came out, accepted it. It didn't dim their gift. They still persisted with their ministry. Yeah. And then they kick account. It you won't be the first. Sabi who put the one call sex as them. Sika 7 double
and the forgery
Ghana for enche.
You will be
but so they will see. Umonipa na ono what that what you can say why you so say or no more now also what they know then be careful because okujeto no
when you buy it
be
Matthias here
know
only the original so
me I am on Osofo on the side
okay
because Osofo and I wish him well. My wish and they say
free social
way mu.
Okay.
Now what paging who of your friend saying
any wrongdoing
because as a Christian that is what I think he should do, and that would be my advice. He's younger than me, and I think say I have the right say me to me advice, you know. But so say the political side of me, dear, then he can go ahead and fight Okujeto. Then we will also wear our political uniform and come at him. But for now, like I said, I want to be on his side, the Christian side.
Okay.
I want to take that Christian side. So I'm advising he should take a deep breath. Look, don't take your advice. You should withdraw. On free system because he will survive it. And your cathedral at this stage. You claim you have other businesses, let them go and do those businesses in silence and in quiet. And then preach Christ. I'm sure it will heal you. It will make you a better person than to drag this matter the way he's doing. Because, like I said, it won't help him because then it will push some of us from the Christian side to the church, from the church side to wear our political in support of Okujeto. And when we do that, trust me, at the end of the day, we don't care what happens to him. But as I said, as a younger brother, he should just, and for the sake of his family, and future, easily, sir. Oma might suffer this brand, especially in their secondary and university days. People will tease them, people will bring it up, and all of that. And, you should spare them. Wherever you are, they will have to also change their names.
I bet you no.
Yes.
Because anytime they mention your name now or say name they bear no, it raises issues.
So for me, I wish say
good.
Asante Kase because Adu-Asare.
Adu-Asare.
You shouldn't drag this thing any further.
Okay. Honorable, we appreciate your time. Honestly, we've exhausted 1 hour, 40 minutes of airtime, and it's worth it. We are one of the few Ghanaians, you say it as it is. You don't mince words, and you are really principled. We appreciate you for that. And, that was in Amansai Katechi or say the Don. I totally agree with Honorable. A government that has forced its poor pensioners to accept haircuts, having wasted all our resources on private jets and car ties. Aside attempted to pay the first and second ladies of a huge monthly salaries, must reflect on the unproductive huge size of government, and the best time to show commitment is now. All right, Amansai Yate. Piaga, I'll say good afternoon to you, the Don, watching you live from Achimasafu. Better sepa for your viewership. I'll say, so some individuals still believe in NDC after 27 years of mismanaging Ghana without a single policy to the nation. I wonder what they are coming to do again. Piaga, Edia, or the Eba, and no. I'll say, Game Boy GH, I'll say, the pastor has a grandfather in his back. That's why he's keeping on with the case. Okay. Game Boy is also at the end. No. Michael Ajana will say, good afternoon, the Don. Watching you live from Kwabenya, and I'm happy to hear Honorable Adu-Asare preaching on the good work of the NDC. We have to rescue Ghana from danger. Or also Adrian Otre and no. Ofake will say, Adu-Asare, how much was one coconut at Brazil? Now, Ofake and also for Honorable Adu-Asare. One coconut at Brazil. All right, Mati. Ofake will be gyro for what? Oga Willie Eddie Career or say, Don, NDC's decision to vote against the president nominees. Does the NDC want to tell Ghanaians that Agric and Trade Ministry are no more important to the country? So is this the reason Esiedun Ketia and Mr. Mahama brought Honorable Atofo saying, all right, Oga Wiliso, Adrian Aoche, and no. Lots of your messages, but for the sake of time, you'll skip them now. We'll do this again. Honorable, let's have more of you. We appreciate your appearance. Let's have more of you now. And Komono and yet in our bid to also shape the nation, as it were. Into let's be having more of your appearance now. Yemfa Mwa or Mino. Mebape Titi Katano, it's here. Chairman of Mariwadia will also join.
That interviews. Listen to the Dawn. He's got you on happy 98.9 FM.
Hello, Meduffo. Minim said you my day. 1 year you manswa, ye. My passa may be my wood den CPS sita. Join me every weekday, 7 to 10 p.m. Our happy evening driver, sir.
All my beautiful ladies who wanna link up.
My boy Mupa and come down one a tidbit. Epic wow lifestyle. We need a kiss. A promo for from it. A Kia cash. Mozumbo number one back. Masalam Habibi.
Happy 98.9 FM. And Nijin Kwa.
What is the full name of a current boyfriend?
Jake.
The full name of your current boyfriend?
Sander Mendes.
And to Jack in free here.
Manu Fumba
Oh, ETV Ghana Sono. O Miminde Numra Yedo.